beaten by my boyfriend. That's the only person who ever bust my ass proper. Welcome back to another video. My name is Tass. Welcome back to Funtasfit, and as you can see from the title, in this video I'm going to talk about domestic abuse, more specifically a time when a rumor was spread about me that I was beaten by my boyfriend. So why do I look so lean? You know what I mean? I don't know. Sorry. I'm gonna try her brand. Yeah, some of you know. Bear with me. So as I said in a previous video, this happened around 2017. I've stated in a previous video, the one about why I stopped eating meat and the get to know me video, all of that. Where I was in 2017, what parts of my life, what was happening in my life in 2017. I was in law school. I stated where I was living, how I was living, with some girls, and I shared premises, etc, etc, etc. If you haven't watched that video, I said you should. By the time this one is out, that video would have already been out. It will be linked in this video and also in the description, so please check it out to follow along with the story as best as possible, because I don't want to be repetitive. Okay, so alright, 2017, in law school, in sharing premises with like a townhouse setting. I had my own room, shared bathroom, like I stated in that video. And also stated in that video that on Father's Day in 2017 was when I lost my aunt to colon cancer, right? Stated all of that in the video. Is this recording? Okay. Right. So it was a difficult time for me. A lot was happening with my family, everything. So I remember the day, it was a Sunday, right? I remember the day my aunt died, or I got the news that my aunt died. I had a boyfriend at the time, and it's like he came up to visit me. I was living in Kingston. Right before I got the news, I think it was, right? So I knew she was ill, like she came back to Jamaica. I didn't get a chance to go and look for her as yet, because like I said in that video, I was doing my internship, everything. So I was like, okay, I'm going to look for her this weekend. Time didn't allow. She passed before I was able to visit her in the hospital. Because for example, she came from Turks and Caicos Thursday or the Friday. By the Sunday, she died, right? And she died in Black River Hospital in St. Elizabeth, and I was all the way in Kingston. And if you have a good idea of Jamaica and where the parishes are, you know that's a good distance, right? It's pretty far. So my boyfriend had just come to look for me right before I got the news. And I remember that morning I wake up and I wash. I did a lot of laundry, I did a lot of chores. So when he came to look for me, I got the news, and I had a shoulder to cry on. It's like God sent him, because I had a shoulder to cry on. Somebody that I trusted, and I was just in tears. I was just, but like I said, I lived in shared premises, but the way I was bawling so uncontrollably is like I did not care. I was just crying out. I don't wish to delve much into that side of the story, because what I really want to focus on is domestic violence side of the story, right? So of course that death and getting that news, it rocked me, people. It lit me up. Until today I will cry for my aunt, right? They say time heals all wounds, but it gets easier, but trust me. Anyways, so that's happened, and I was just bawling till my eye red. My eyes were swollen, red, and puffy, nose are run. I was just a mess. It's those ugly cries, but me not care. I was just so devastated. And the fact that I was away from my family, I had no one up there. It was just me. It was just like, thank God that one person who was so important to me in my life at the time was right there, because my mom, all of my family members were at the hospital or nearer to where my aunt was. I was the only one up in Kingston by myself, and it was just, that made it even harder. That made it so much more hard to manage, right? So I was just bawling. So of course, I guess the girls or the other members of the household must have heard the crying, etc, etc. So I'm going to tell you what happened based on my understanding, what I saw, what I heard, what I noticed, versus what I heard in the aftermath, like months later, right? And you guys can put it together and tell me what you think. So balling. Like I said, I had woken up earlier that day and do my laundry, because when I get up early I get everything out the way. So I had clothes on the line, everything. But of course, by hearing this, I wasn't even hungry anymore. If I had planned to cook, me I feel like to cook no more. Like, me just not in the mood for nothing. Me just want in my bed and I cry. So I remember my boyfriend at the time going to pick up my laundry that was on the outside on the clothesline, and get me laundry. He might try to get me something to eat and all of them little things there. And I was just not having it. I was just crying. I I remember one time, no, I finally came out of my room because I was just in my room crying, locked up with me and my boyfriend in my room crying. So I came out of my room, right? I came out of my room and I went, my room was upstairs, bathroom upstairs, the common room, which is the living room, the common areas, the living room and the kitchen. Yeah, living room, dining room, kitchen are all downstairs, the shared premises. So I come out of my room, come downstairs, and I can't remember if I went to the fridge to look for something, but I came downstairs for something and I saw the group of girls that I had lived with in the living room, and they were just sitting in the couch and whatever. And I remember seeing an unfamiliar face. I wasn't sure if she was a new girl or she was a visitor, a friend of somebody there. I didn't care at the time who she was, but I was just like, I had manners. I was just like, hello, let me sad mood, me no wipe my face, nothing. Me just dry my eye a little bit. Yeah, it's swollen, same, you can barely see. My eyes are almost swollen shut. And I was just like, hello. And they were like, oh, hi, Tass. And I think I went to the fridge, probably get some water or something. Then I went back upstairs, more crying. Also, when I came downstairs, I had seen one of the housemates' boyfriend. Let's call the housemate Pam, and let's call the boyfriend Chad. So I saw Pam and I saw Chad. It's not unusual to see Chad because he doesn't live there, but he's Pam's boyfriend. So he visits quite often, especially on Sundays, and cook together and whatever. I don't care. Big man out on that. So I called to everybody and I was like, hello, whatever. Go back upstairs now. More bawling. You see, when I'm going through something, guys, I don't speak on it in the moment. If you're really close to me, like I said, my boyfriend was there, and obviously just my family. I'm not going to tell a friend. I'm going to tell just any friend. I'm going to tell my bestest of best friend, but I'm not just going to tell anybody. So it's like that happened in 2017. When was Father's Day in 2017? You guys can remember in the comments. I'm speaking quickly again. About June or July of 2017. Let me see this up. Hold on. Let me look this up really quickly so I can stop referring to it further. Okay, so this says that Father's Day is June 18 of 2017. That's about it, right? So went back upstairs, whatever. Where was I with the story? Whatever. So okay, that's happened. I think it was a few months after, like when my auntie did and burial and everything. I had disclosed to my housemates at the time that, guys, because I think they had noticed that, I had to frequent St. Elizabeth more often, and I told them I had a funeral to attend, and they asked whose was it. And I guess at this point I'm starting to open up more, and I was like, okay, it's my aunt, she died. And yeah, and I can't remember, I probably said, if you remember when I was bawling down the house some weeks ago or a month ago or something, that's what had happened. And they were like, oh my god, Tess, I'm sorry to hear, etc, etc, expressing their condolences. Alright, that happened. Auntie did and very put to rest. Remember me telling us in the previous video that I had my internship, so I was still at the house with my internship. I had to travel with my mom in 2017. Didn't want to miss the birth of my nephew, and all of that came back for September and started second year of law school. Alright, go for and come back months later, guys. Months later. Probably not 2018 or never reached 2018 yet. And in that video I would have expressed my I've disclosed the health issues I was having also. So all of this is happening in 2017. Alright, let's stick with me. So when we come back now, me can't remember how the information come about, but for some reason, I think at this time now, Pam and the other girls in the house have their issue. Who not talk to who almost fight, police get called, landlord get called every minute. I was just like, I'm not about this. I was just trying to keep the balance and talk to everybody. Me not push up in nobody excessively, but me also not star nobody, and I'm not upset with anybody. You have all of them little drama things they are going. When you have a house of pure girls or one bag of girls, 7, 8 girls, what can you expect, right? Anyways, and some person's material level is different from the other. So I am there, and Pam and the other girls and not stop talk, who not talk, who I do this, who I do that. So let's call the other girls Jessica and Stacy. There were several of them, but these two other than Pam are very, very important to the story, right? Jessica and Stacy and then Pam. There are several others in the house, but them are like extras right now in the story. Boom. So when Pam, Jessica and Stacy start talk, everything start unfold. You start hear how Pam say one bag of things about me and this and that. And mind you, Pam and I were going to school together in the same class. They started to come home together. I thought Pam and I were friends, we were cool. I introduced her to my boyfriend at the time. Everything, the same guy who was there for me when my aunt passed. So we're all cool. And out of everybody, Pam and I were doing the same course, the same thing. We're in the same line of study. Everybody is a study to be doctor and this, that, and the third. IT, yeah. So things start come out, and it's neither here nor there for me because I'm just like, oh, well, okay. And me see who in the house just to do bare craziness, who I call landlord for petty stuff, and I'm just like, oh my god, let me just go back to my room. First of all, I barely go in the kitchen. I use my room and my bathroom the most, and thank god they're upstairs to my privacy. I barely go in common areas. I'm always in my room. I just need to keep my head down and pass these exams. Bar exams coming up. I have a lot on my plate. I need to ace law school. I was just looking at the bigger picture that I am soon out of here and leaving all this drama behind. Little did that I know that it was worse than I thought. Alright people, so Jessica and Stacy one day revealed that Pam had spread this whole rumor amongst the household plus outside of the household that it probably did reach one ex-parish where she was from plus law school because like I said, we were both doing the same line of study, and she had friends at law school that I was cordial with because they're friends of somebody who I thought was my friend. So I was very cordial and respectful to everybody, you know what I mean? So they were like, yeah, it possibly did reach a good mile because this is what she did. So apparently, so this is months later, and my auntie dead buried and done bones in her grave. Apparently, when I was crying, so let's backtrack to that June 18 Sunday when I got the news of my aunt's death and how devastating that was for me and how it rocked my world for the worse. I was bawling. Boyfriend visited, both in our rooms, both in my room. I'm just bawling my life away. Apparently, the girls are saying that Pam rounded up all of them and was like, oh my god, it sounds like Tessa get beaten in our room. So I'm like, what do you mean? Why is that? Why was that her first line of thought? And they're like, yes, she split. And so Jessica and Stacy were like, at first they didn't think so because they were like, no. But then, based on how Pam brainwashed them or was so persuasive, they actually started to believe what she was saying. So she rounded up all the girls, Jessica and Stacy included, plus the several other girls that were a part of the household, and told him that it sounded as if I was being beaten I was being abused by my boyfriend, locked up in the room. So I do remember them calling, like knocking on the door while I was in there crying, and they were just like, Tass, are you okay? But of course people may literally just hear say my auntie dead, my auntie not even dead. 5 minutes good, I'm here. 5 minutes, everybody not on cool nothing. They were even trying to save her, put her on life support, rush her to Mandeville. I'm just there. My boyfriend drive, so I was just there. We were both in the room, like listening to, waiting for my mom to say, all right, boom, meet me at Mandeville. I'm just ready to like rush out from town to Mandeville, right? Meet me at Mandeville Hospital. And they did try, but you know. So we were just waiting for the call. So I remember when they knocked and they asked, I don't think I answered. I think my boyfriend at the time said, yeah man, she alright man, she alright. You know what I mean? Or probably was like, I don't know. You guys can imagine what was happening at the time. But I know that they did a knock and ask, right? Tass, are you okay? So when remember I told you guys that I had come out of my room now at one point to go downstairs, eyes puffy, could barely see. And I saw a girl who wasn't a part of the household. She later became part of the household. She's one of the characters, one of the main characters. Remember I told you I saw her? Apparently she was just moving in that day, and she was being introduced to everybody and all of that and all of that. Come to find out later that little Missy telling me that I barely even talked to her on the first day. So she thought I hated her, and Pam had brainwashed her to tell her that that's how I am and I'm not a nice person and and I'm finding out this months later, and I laughed and I looked at her and I was just like, Jessica, you had no idea. I didn't even recognize you then. I didn't even care for you then. As harsh as it sounds, it's the truth. I just lost my aunt not even an hour ago. What did you want me to do? Run and jump on you and greet you? Come on. Even if I didn't lose my aunt, that's not how I am. I'm going to say, hi, how are you? Welcome, and that's it, and keep it pushing. You guys should be grateful I even called to your asses. That's what I'm saying. So she said that, and she said, yeah. And then, yeah, so when I came downstairs, I saw her. She was new to the household. Remember, I also said that I saw, what my name is? Chad? Pam boyfriend, whatever my name, I don't even remember, I don't even care at this point. I saw him. Apparently, Jessica and Stacy are also now telling me that how Chad ended up, remember I told you it's not strange to see him there because they spend quality time together. Apparently they're telling me that what Pam had done was, after she rounded up the girls and tell them that this happening in the room without no evidence, no nothing, she called Chad and she told Chad, hi, you better get over here as quickly as possible because it's so like Tessa get beaten in our room. I'm gonna need some male power basically, right? So when me see Chad, me just think of the norm. Never know say Chad did come for save me or rescue me, but the whole of them cock up downstairs and me would have up there then if nothing did go so. You see me? So boom, I do remember like Chad looking at me weird, but I was just like more like, you know them look there like from the corner there, like he might look on me, then he look on the person, he might look on me like he might try to send a signal with him eye. But people me not pre nobody. Me not first of all, I can barely see. Me I big already, and when I cry like that, it's bigger. So I'm not even preen, y'all. So I wasn't paranoid, I wasn't overthinking, I just did not care. I'm just trying looking down on the stairs not to miss my step and fall and break my neck while coming down with those big puffy eyes. That's it. I'm not preen, y'all. I don't care. Y'all could be throwing a party down there. I don't give a F. So I do remember that now. So when they're telling me their version plus what I recall, I'm just like, ding. So then they must say yes, and how she called up everybody and this, that, and the third, and I was just like, nah, you kidding? So I remember taking up my phone and texting my boyfriend at the time, and I was like, boom, you wouldn't even guess what Pam did, because like I said, I had introduced him. He would come over and we were all big one happy family, me and the several other girls and who have their significant others, right? Listen to that now. So he was just like, I told him, and he's like, no, you're kidding. And he was like, you know, see a long time and I trust a girl. I'm like, boy, because you did say she cool. And he was like, yeah, she cool, but me just feel like something off. And I'm like, yep. And we started to learn things around the house, and me and just keep me little ASS quiet and focus because we have exams and this and that, right? So when me didn't know, and him tell me, first of all, I'm just like, what do I even do with this information at this point? Pam was probably upstairs at the time in her room or wherever she was, but she wasn't amongst the conversation with me, Jessica and Stacy. And I was just like, do I go and knock on her door and be like, bitch, what was that? Or do I approach it differently? Or seeing that I've gotten this information so late in the game, it's like, me just go prayer and know, say me have to keep my distance, but at the same time, I have to be smarter than her, you see me? Because clearly this girl will do anything to tear me down. So, plus one bag of other things that I want people. One bag of other things that I realize our character. Pam did seem like the type of girl where you walk past her and if you brush her too hard, she drop her, she call police and tell them say you drop her and you get in trouble. And I had a lot to lose. I was almost done with law school. I don't want no record against me. I don't want no problem. I don't want no problem. I don't want no record. I don't want nothing. I need to be an attorney. I need for them to say that I am a fit and proper person. We can't no record or follow me. I don't want no foolishness. So, I can't do a girl if I want to do a girl. I have to be careful, right? Boom, I've never fought before. I'm not the type to go out and fight, but listen to me. Listen to me, man. Anyways, so at this point, I didn't even know what to do with the information. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. I think I had told my sister-in-law, who I'm very, very close with. She's like a sister. I even hate using the term sister-in-law because me and that girl Samantha, we're like sisters. It's the best gift my brother has ever given me. She and my nephew. I know my niece who is about to be born. So best gift that boy has ever given me is that boy has never given me anything. But yeah, I think I had told her and she was just like, Jessica and Stacy hypocritical too, because you are here thinking that they're cool with you, and all this time them have this bag of negative thoughts about your secret, and it's only because them and Pam fall out now why everything I explode. I mean, like, you're so true. And she's like, listen to me, don't just be careful of Pam, be careful of also Jessica and Stacy. You're already always cautious of the others in the house, but it's Jessica and Stacy. You need to also pre them differently and be careful, because you just don't know who is who, what is what, and what is being said about you, right? So I took that advice. I was so caught up about it, but you know, me say, you know what, a month later, my auntie did Danbury, the rumor probably spread to law school, to our family or whichever parish, and I was just like, yo, F it. Right, so I was just like, you know what, yo, F it, because at this point, I need to focus. I don't want no animosity. The house you don't feel like you walk on eggshell in the house. You don't feel the tension in the house. I don't want to add fire to fury. Of course it hurt me, and of course I want to say something, but like I said, guys, I kept looking at the bigger picture. In a couple months, I'm a full-fledged attorney at law, and you can't stay with phone and drama, phone and foolishness. I not soon, a couple months from this, right? Boom. God bless the one and way me and them still pursue a friendship, and we're good, but most of y'all later. We live together, you hear about me, you didn't know me. Alright, that's it. So one time, I can't remember if I had asked Pam, because I probably did read on my chest too much, but it did come up. Say she said that, and I remember her just laughing and be like, yeah, and that made it think task, made it think say, he up there, I hit you and da da da, so we call me thinking it up there, I hit you and whatever, so me call Chad and me tell him say, come assist me. So then me I'm like, really? And Pam was like, yeah, really? That was it. Another time though, so me don't pick up say, clearly she not remorseful, and clearly she not gonna apologize. But that's me thinking that homegirl actually stated it, full-fledged boom bang. So another occasion happened where we were all sitting in the common area, the living room. Me, Pam, Stacy, Jessica, and I can't remember the other girls were there. But like I said, these persons are the main characters of the story. And I remember I said it, me didn't have to get it up on my chest too again. I made have to say to Pam, so I have to say this. Remember when you did tell everybody, say, me I get beaten and whatever, and you're yet to apologize? And she reeled up and she was like, me not apologize, why would I apologize? And I took a smirk, and she's like, why would I apologize? Me thinking I get beaten then, whatever. And then no, me ready to answer back. And here comes Stacy jumping in the middle, being the peacemaker. Guys, we need to calm down. Pam, it was a misunderstanding. Pam just thought that based on what she heard and this was the case, and then Task is saying that this is not the case, Listen to me, I didn't want to say a man, but me did too heated at the time. It was no misunderstanding. How can you misunderstand something you fail to even address your mind to or understand in the first place? It's no misunderstanding, right? She just didn't want to spread a rumor about me and bring down my reputation, and I was so pissed. Right? I was so pissed. So there was probably that rumor being spread that I was a victim of domestic abuse, and it shows how limited or how their approach to domestic abuse is. Because if that was really happening, and that happens a lot in Jamaica, women died at the hands of men. Why was your approach like that? Why was it to round up everybody, to sit at my door and listen, to tell the whole country and the whole nation, and you did nothing? Until today, you have done nothing. You just wanted to pass on the word to people who cannot tell, who are yet to do nothing. And that's why I don't with most of you persons in the legal fraternity, because you all are hypocrites. Coming on, probably didn't hear this rumor, and nobody has said anything to me or has yet sought to see if it's true. Of course, these things they approach with a bit more sensitivity, but we don't do SHIT, right? We don't do nothing about it. I know say it never just stop in the household. I know for a fact. A lot of you may not have heard, so making this video will be the first time, but I know and a lot of you will figure out what I'm talking about, right? But I know for a fact a lot of you heard, and that was just that, right? Domestic violence is nothing to play with. It's nothing to play with, right? It's nothing to play with. And if I was a victim of it, and this is how my household decided to approach the situation, then shame on you guys. That's all I can say. Shame on you guys, honestly. Thank God I'm still here. Thank God I'm still standing here. And that was not the case. Nothing of the sort. No male friend, boyfriend, nothing has ever laid hands on me. The only person who ever beat me in my life is my mother. I mean, my brother and I used to just always fight, sibling rivalry. And that was when I was young. That's the only person who ever bust my ass proper. Was my mom. And that was it. And that's what my dad, I think, has ever. So yes, that's the story of the time. Oh, I had to run back upstairs because my battery had died, and so I needed to get some charge. So yes, that's the story of the time I was domestically abused, or this rumor was spread that I was being beaten by my boyfriend, when in truth and in fact I had literally just lost my aunt to cancer. That's what happened. And I'm sure Pam felt no remorse. She didn't feel the need to correct the error. I'm sure when she found out a short while after that, that's what happened on June 18, 2017, she felt no desire to text up and call up all those persons that she had spread the rumor to say, hey, you remember that time I told her that Tess was being beaten in her room? Nah, it was her aunt who had just passed, and she was mourning that death instead. No, but it is what it is. You see, as long as you know the truth and you know what in your heart and what's in the inside, it is what it is. Jessica was saying that, oh, she didn't know I was so nice because all this thing that Pam had implanted in her head, she's just not realizing that I'm so nice, and half of it wasn't true, but more than half, none of it was true, and this, that, and the third. But it's good to find out people for yourself, right? Let people prove themselves to you. That's how I am with people. You can tell me 10 things wrong about a person, and that's what you perceive, and that's you and the person. Let me prove for myself, and I'll be like, let me say, you know, you did right, rather than me write them off instantly, and then it's like it come on to bite me in the ass later on in a life, because you just don't know, right? So this is what it is, guys, and that's what happened. And I hope you enjoyed this little story time. There's a life lesson in there. But yeah, bye. Oh, I wanted to take you guys with me while I cook, because I need to make dinner. But this battery now keep up and I can't bother. And I made like 2 videos today. Hope you see them soon. Bye. Bye.